Welcome to Pour It On Me, where cocktail culture comes alive. From rooftop bars to hidden speakeasies, and even our own kitchens, we're shaking, stirring, and sipping it all. Whether you're chasing the perfect old-fashioned or just love a good drink story, grab a glass and let's pour it on. March has arrived, and February honestly flew by. So for this episode, I wanted to focus on some fun date night ideas around the DMV. Since Valentine's Day landed right in the middle of the month, it turned into the perfect excuse for a few extra date nights. Now before we get into the adventures, I should introduce my date for the month, Pete, not his real name. Pete prefers to stay off camera, so you'll see a few blurred images where he would normally be. We take consent seriously around here, but you might hear him in the background from time to time. The month began with a getaway to one of the tranquil spots located just a few hours from here. Options abound, such as booking an Airbnb along the river or near the beautiful Shenandoah Mountains. I was fortunate enough, however, to start the month by commandeering a friend's cabin in Moorefield, West Virginia. Despite the great local bars like the Bearded Hen, the Main Event, and Mullen's 1847 restaurant, heavy snowfall encouraged us to stay cozy indoors. We enjoyed making delicious drinks by the fire instead. Old fashions were a staple, flowing freely even with the house's temporary pipe issue. We also discovered a new favorite, a wonderful dessert drink made with Screwball peanut butter whiskey and a splash of Buffalo Trace bourbon cream. Unfortunately, our planned dessert took a hit when we had to toss a pan of brownies after spotting a mouse sampling them. Luckily, we had brought other options to enjoy with our drinks. After arriving back home, I had a great Auntie A date with my niece Becca at Profs and Pints. They host fascinating talks led by experts and professors and are usually held at Penn Social, just a block from the Navy Memorial. Our discussion topic was kink or disorder. You can catch some of our conversation snippets from our travel there and back.
So Becca, we had to step back because the doors were closing.
We did.
We did.
Good thing we were sitting.
Yes, good thing. We're on the train, Beck.
We are on the train.
We are on the train. You want to tell the nice folks where we're going?
No. I don't remember what it's called. Dinner and a show, basically.
I promise, we have not had a drink yet. Yes, dinner and a show, but a little bit of a different show. So tonight we're on the train. We're on the Yellow Line, going from Huntington all the way to Galleria Place in D.C., and we are going to Profs and Pints. You guys have heard me talk about this on the TikTok channel a couple of times before. Profs and Pints is essentially where they bring in an expert in a field, whether it's books, movies, whatever have you, different subjects, professors from all different genres come in and they talk about whatever their expertise is in. It's a real fun time because you get to sit there and drink. Yeah, see Becca's face on that one. You get to drink and listen to some interesting commentary or information. So you get to learn, and drink. I mean, look, it's the best of both worlds, right, Beck?
And who doesn't like to learn?
Yes, exactly. Growth happens in that.
So what are they talking about tonight?
Oh, do you really want to know?
Yes.
Are you sure about that? All right, well, it is Valentine's season, as you are aware. And there are some people who have some different opinions about bedroom extracurricular activities.
Okay.
So Beck, I hate to tell you, but tonight's subject is kink or disorder. So we're going to go find out about people's kinkiness stuff in the bedroom.
That's kind of exciting because if you've ever looked into what they are and what variations there are a lot. So people have very different opinions on these kinks.
Very, very different opinions and very interesting extracurricular activities. Now, I mean, look, I don't yuck anybody else's yum. You know, you guys have heard me say that before. I don't do that. And I think you probably might have been too young for this. You remember that I used to sell certain adult toys on the side as one of those MLM demonstration things. So that was kind of fun. So I do have a little insight into this world. I won't say how much. I have a little insight into this world. But I'm interested to hear, because you don't want to judge anybody for what they do, but I'm also interested to see if they have any interesting cocktails on the menu to go along with this subject.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Do you think that they're gonna match the subject?
I don't know. They might. You never know. But I think while we're downtown, there's a couple of restaurants and bars right in that same block. And maybe we'll pop in there and see what they've got on the menu too.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Never know. So what are you thinking? Are you excited about this subject? Nervous? What?
I'm not nervous. I'm excited. I think that it's going to be fun. I really like to learn, even if it's a subject that's not often talked about. But I do feel like it's important to always have open communication, and this is definitely a way to open communication if you have not been able to open that communication yet.
Yes. So that's absolutely. I can't agree with you more. We probably aren't going to be able to record a lot of the actual sessions. We'll probably take a few snapshots of the PowerPoint that they'll probably have up on the screen, and we will be happy to discuss what we learned on the way home while we're tipsy, because this is a cocktail podcast. So as much as we are thrilled about learning today, we're also thrilled about drinking a little and having some fun. So,
and doing it safely. Hence
yes,
the metro.
Yes, the metro. Yes, we knew better. So, all right. We were going to get off at the Navy Memorial, but from my understanding, is they have not shoveled it at all.
Oh no!
So, my friend texted me earlier. Was like,
that.
"There's a small path, but you might want to get off at Galleria Place instead." So, all right, we will talk to you all on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye.
Becca, it's cold as fuck out here.
It is so cold.
It's ridiculously cold, and I don't know if everybody can see all this. Do you see all this snow shit? Do you see? Do you see all this snow shit? This is ridiculous. You guys are lucky that we love you.
I got lost so many times, and I don't think that it was what I expected. Like, there was nothing really about, it was like weird stuff, like weird things and weird.
All right, so you probably just heard a little bit of our train ride home. We recorded a whole discussion right after the Profs and Pints talk, but unfortunately, the Metro had other plans. Between the train noise and going through the tunnels, the audio got pretty rough. So, instead of making you sit through all of that, here is the quick recap of what we were actually talking about. First things first, we did what we always do and talked about the drinks. We tried a mango margarita, a cosmopolitan, a Moscow Mule, and eventually switched over to a local beer from Right Proper Brewing. Overall, the drinks were good, but honestly, not very strong. The margarita was a little sweet, the Mule was pretty light, and the cosmopolitan was basically straight liquor in a tiny fancy glass. But the real point of the night was the talk itself, which was called Kink or Disorder. The speaker explained how psychologists distinguish between a kink and a disorder. Basically, it comes down to a few key questions. Does it cause distress? Does it cause harm to you or someone else? And does it interfere with your daily life? If the answer is no, then it is not considered a disorder. Some of the most interesting parts were the statistics about how common different fantasies are, and how similar the preferences were between men and women. There were also some surprising cultural differences, depending on the country. So while it was not exactly what we expected, it was still a really interesting talk, and we would definitely go to another one. I returned later that month for a date with myself, attending a talk on the ethics of good sex. These events are fantastic options for a date, regardless of your company. Not only are the food and drinks superb, but the resulting discussion can be just as provocative and provide excellent conversation for the trip home. I took on the planning for Valentine's weekend and came up with some exciting activities. On Friday night, Pete and I went axe throwing at Bad Axe. Since we got there before the dinner rush, we had the place all to ourselves, and they serve beer, cocktails, and bar food. A key takeaway: that axe is incredibly heavy, and drinking while throwing, well, moderation is definitely advised.
We are ridiculous as humans. Can I just tell you that? This is a sport. No.
Well, that explains your deficiencies.
Yes!
First try.
Do you see it?
I see it. I see it.
I don't care if it's way up there. I freaking got it in.
After enjoying a few drinks and the unique experience of splitting wood with axes, hatchets, and knives, we continued our date night in Old Town Alexandria. We checked out 2 bars, Old Hat and The Study. Old Hat is a favorite of mine. It spans 3 floors and features 2 distinct bar areas. You can enjoy a lively atmosphere downstairs for mixing and mingling, or opt for a more intimate setting in a booth on the 2nd floor. Larger groups can utilize the tables on the 3rd floor. What truly caught our attention, though, were the clever names of the drinks. I even correctly predicted which ones Pete would choose both times. Oh, and I must mention the unique pencil dispenser on the 3rd floor. For just $0.25, you can buy a pencil. When I asked the owner, Jack, about it, he explained that each pencil holds the potential for words, drawings, or anything else someone decides to use it for. We finished the night at The Study, which is housed in the Morrison House Hotel. It offers a very quiet, serene setting and was not crowded when we were there. Note that The Study closes at 10 p.m., so it's best to arrive early. They host library-inspired events, such as the Banned Book Speakeasy, and are also known for their book club. During one of their themed nights, I received a souvenir library card on which we wrote our orders from a menu of library and banned book-inspired drinks. On Valentine's Day, I decided to do some different, out-of-the-box things. For an unexpectedly entertaining night out, we decided on the Valentine's wine package at Medieval Times. Jousting, horses, and sword fighting, oh my. I hadn't been since childhood, and it was a first for Pete. I know. It might sound like a goofy choice, but honestly, we had a blast. The package included a full bottle of Cabernet and keepsake wine glasses. The food was actually quite good: tomato bisque, chicken, potatoes, garlic bread, and a cannoli for dessert. Here are a few clips from the event.
Behold, she takes swing!
Methinks the right of the sword, my lords. Meet on horseback and wield the lance. Take your places and pray you strike true. And another charge! A bold lance, Red Knight. Another blow may finish the contest. A true match was fully answered. Dismount, Red Knight, and meet him on foot.
After a bit of a drive to and from Hanover, Maryland, we took an afternoon break before heading to DC. We arrived around 6:30, ahead of a fun 8 p.m. event at George Washington University. Since we had time to spare, we decided to eat dinner at Tonic. This bar, which markets itself with the tagline, "We cure what ails you," was apparently an old pharmacy transformed into a drinking establishment. For their Valentine's Day special, the restaurant offered an appetizer, meal, and dessert for $45. I ordered an exceptional bacon grilled cheese sandwich with tater tots, which we shared, while Pete chose tacos and a beer. I enjoyed a fall-inspired Moscow mule, and Pete was happy to finish my leftovers. The restaurant's atmosphere was unique, with exposed brick covering the entire space and a walking bridge upstairs overlooking the bar. The downstairs area was spacious and ideal for socializing, whereas the upstairs seating, with its tables and booths, was better suited for a more intimate evening. They also host great weekly events, including trivia night and comedy night every Friday. Following dinner, we moved on to the evening's main attraction at GWU, Oh Mama, a burlesque take on Mamma Mia. I made sure to watch Pete's reaction, and he certainly got a little blush-worthy. The performance was LGBTQ inclusive, and the best part was that the proceeds supported a great cause, raising money for HIV/AIDS awareness and treatment. Beer and wine were available for sipping throughout the show, adding to the fun of the night. Here are a few clips from the event. Since the night was still young, we decided to head to Georgetown and check out the Sovereign, which is also my word of the year. This Belgian-inspired bar is incredible and features a fascinating cocktail menu. Pete even got a lesson on how to drink his absinthe from our very knowledgeable bartender.
So your spirit's already going to be in the glass there, right? Okay. And all we want to do is just dilute it a little bit, just so it's not so strong, not so harsh. Okay. So we're going to just incorporate a little bit of water. Well, as we do that, we're going to introduce some sugar, and this is specifically absinthe sugar. So it's just like nice little ice sugar cubes. And all we want to do is to break down that sugar. So we're going to try to get a slow, steady drip going, just like that. As your sugar starts to dissolve, just move your glass around so that it keeps landing right on that sugar cube. Okay. And then as soon as the sugar's dissolved, turn it off, give it a stir, should be good to go. All right. Try it. If you think it's a little strong, you can add a little more water, but I don't recommend going past that second line there. Okay. Cheers. Thank you.
One of my top date night picks in Georgetown is the G Piano Bar. Although I didn't get to go that particular evening, I sent my niece and her wife to check it out instead. Here's a glimpse of their experience.
Dipping on sponge cake, watching the sun drip. All of the stories covered with oil, strumming my sixth string on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to boil. Wasting away again, margarita. Searching for my lost shaker of song. Some people think that there's one to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault.
Before heading to the piano bar, they made a stop at Reina. They actually came across it while walking through DC and grabbing B-roll for the St. Patrick's Day bar crawl. It looked absolutely gorgeous, so they went in, grabbed a seat at the bar, and ordered a drink. And honestly, the presentation alone was worth the stop. One of the cocktails, called Hocus Pocus, came out with one of the coolest presentations. Even the drink ordered by someone sitting next to them had an amazing presentation, and it was too good not to photograph. They also tried one of the cocktail bites, a shrimp taco with sweet mango chutney and watermelon radish. Sometimes that is the best kind of date night stop. Not the one you planned, but the one you find by accident. If you are looking for more things to do in DC, a unique and highly recommended option is to check out the Library of Congress during one of their special evening hours, often featuring a happy hour. On certain Thursday nights, the historic Great Hall and various exhibits are open, providing a sophisticated backdrop for conversation while enjoying a drink. It's a fantastic, low-key way to experience one of the nation's most beautiful and important institutions without the daytime crowds. Another stop could be Union Station. While primarily a transportation hub, Union Station is an architectural marvel and a dynamic location for a date. You can explore the stunning Beaux Arts architecture, browse the shops, grab a casual bite or a celebratory drink at one of the various restaurants, and soak in the energy of the city. It serves as a central starting point for many DC adventures, or a perfect place to wind down after an event. Pete and I found ourselves in Baltimore, and at the B&O Train Museum, a premier venue for cocktail parties, offering unique, historic spaces like the 1884 Baldwin Roundhouse, an outdoor pavilion, and vintage rail cars. It is a popular, versatile location for corporate, private, and wedding events, providing a scenic, themed atmosphere for attendees. After all the choo-choos, it was time to explore the Inner Harbor. Pickles Pub is a quintessential Baltimore landmark, especially for couples looking for a lively lunch date across from Camden Yards. During your recent midday visit, you can belly up to the bar for a taste of Maryland history with their signature Orange Crush, a refreshing mix of fresh squeezed oranges, vodka, triple sec, and lemon lime soda. The no-frills, high-energy atmosphere is perfect for sharing a casual meal of their famous beer-battered pickle spears or a crab dip-topped burger while soaking in the old-school sports bar vibe. It was a gorgeous day, and we walked around the harbor after drinks and snacks at Pickles. Strolling along Baltimore's nearly 7-mile waterfront promenade, you'll encounter a rich maritime history marked by landmarks like the 1854 USS Constellation and the cobblestone Belgian block streets of Fells Point. You can drink in the history at the Horse You Came In On Saloon, America's oldest continuously operating bar and rumored final stop of Edgar Allan Poe, or enjoy local craft brews at Max's Tap House. For a modern perspective, sip a cocktail at the Bygone atop the Four Seasons for panoramic harbor views, or visit the Cannon Room at the Sagamore Pendry to sample Maryland-style rye whiskey. That night, we opted for dinner at Phillips, which was memorable and enhanced by great live music and a lively atmosphere. I had both the intriguing Blue Crab Margarita and the sophisticated Chesapeake Bay Breeze Cosmo. For dinner, Pete thoroughly enjoyed the monumental fried seafood platter, featuring perfectly crisp fish, shrimp, and scallops. I chose the half-chicken platter. The chicken was cooked to absolute perfection, tender and juicy, served with creamy mashed potatoes and seasonal vegetables. The entire dining experience proved why Phillips is a favorite in the DMV area. After leaving Pete to his own devices for the evening, a rare and much-deserved night of peace for him, I might add, I had a fabulous friend date with Meg. We decided to venture out of the immediate DC area and headed north to Baltimore for a much-anticipated night of comedy and magic. Our destination was the historic Lyric, a truly grand venue where we had tickets to see the incredibly talented Lucy Darling. The show itself was a delightful blend of dry wit, engaging comedy, and genuinely impressive sleight of hand. While the Lyrics bar offered the usual assortment of cocktails and beer during the intermission, Meg and I found ourselves far more captivated by the magical libations that Lucy Darling was conjuring on stage. Her performance had a wonderful, sophisticated flair, and the manifestation of several beautifully prepared and yummy drinks right before our eyes was a highlight of the night. It was truly a testament to her showmanship and skill, leaving the audience both amused and thoroughly impressed by the spectacle. It was a perfect, memorable evening and a fantastic excuse for a Baltimore road trip. Here are a few clips from the event. We wrapped up the month with a happy hour in Old Town, meeting up with my usual group. Pete and I met Robin, Carl, Anton, Eric, and Greg at Union Street Public House. We particularly enjoyed their whiskey bar in the back, which offers fantastic happy hour drink specials and delicious food. We tried several of their signature cocktails. Next on the itinerary was the Light Horse, another personal favorite. The downstairs bar provides an excellent, intimate setting for catching up with friends over several fantastic cocktails. While I didn't stay late this time, the upstairs is the spot for late-night entertainment. It features a stage and dance floor, where I hear my friend Greg was tearing it up, along with table shuffleboard and darts located toward the back. We ventured out for one more date night near the Baltimore area and ended up at State Fair in Catonsville. The restaurant, which occupies a building that looks like a repurposed old garage, has a surprising interior featuring lively artwork, including an impressively realistic portrait of David Grohl. The food was outstanding. I loved the tortellini, and Pete was very pleased with his shrimp and grits. My drink choice, the brown sugar espresso martini, was good, but quite strong for my taste since I'm not a regular coffee drinker. I hope these suggestions give you some fresh ideas for your next date night. I thank Pete for being my date on all these adventures. Although we enjoyed several more activities this month, such as visiting various dive bars, before his 2-month sabbatical began, I'll save those for upcoming episodes. Keep an eye out for our next few features, which will cover our top St. Patrick's Day spots, all the excitement surrounding DC's cherry blossom festivities, and how I celebrated my birthday in late March.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Pour It On Me, where every pour tells a story. Want more cocktail adventures? Visit us at www.pouritonme.com or follow us on any social media channel at Pour It On Me Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And as always, please drink responsibly. If you or someone you love needs help, you are not alone. Call the National Helpline at 800-662-4357 for free confidential support 24/7. Or connect with local resources like Alcoholics Anonymous at aa.org. Until next time, keep your spirits high, your ice cold. Remember, there's always room for one more pour. This episode was produced and edited by DeSimone Digital Solutions, LLC. All rights reserved.